Across the vast expanse of our planet, a symphony of life unfolds in every corner, woven together by the pulse of untamed wilderness. From the icy breath of polar winds to the shimmering heat of equatorial plains, Earth's wild heart beats in 1,000 rhythms, each shaped by the land, the water, and the creatures that call these places home. The sun-scorched savannas of Africa stretch endlessly, golden grasses rippling beneath the watchful gaze of acacia trees. Here the air vibrates with the calls of distant herds and the low rumble of thunder, promising both life-giving rain and the drama of survival. Beneath the surface of ancient seas, a hidden world thrives, reefs and seagrass meadows sheltering a kaleidoscope of marine life, each species perfectly adapted to the ebb and flow of tides. These landscapes are not static backdrops, but living, breathing entities, shaped by the relentless forces of wind, water, and time. They are home to a breathtaking diversity of creatures, each one a vital thread in the intricate tapestry of life. Rivers wind through ancient forests, their banks alive with the rustle of hidden mammals and the chorus of birds greeting the dawn. Wetlands, shrouded in morning mist, cradle life in abundance, each droplet of water a world unto itself, sustaining amphibians, insects, and the great herds that gather to drink. The wild heart of our planet is a network of interconnected realms, savannas, seas, forests, and wetlands, each with its own pulse, its own story. These places are vital not only for the animals that inhabit them, but for the balance of the natural world itself. They purify the air, filter the water, and regulate the climate, sustaining life in all its forms. On the Serengeti, the drama of existence plays out on a grand scale. Herds of wildebeest and zebra move in unison across the grasslands, their migration a testament to endurance and instinct. Predators stalk the shadows, their every movement a delicate balance between hunger and survival. Beneath the Mediterranean's shimmering surface, a world of color and movement thrives. Shoals of fish dart among forests of seagrass, while octopuses slip silently through rocky crevices. Here, ancient currents shape the lives of creatures both great and small, from the tiniest plankton to the mighty tuna. In the subtropical wilderness of the Everglades, water is both creator and destroyer. Alligators glide silently through sawgrass, their eyes just above the surface. Wading birds stalk the shallows, their reflections rippling in the golden light. Every inch of this landscape is alive, shaped by the slow, ceaseless flow of water. Across these wild places, the struggle for survival is constant. Lionesses nurture their cubs in the shelter of tall grass, elephants march through swirling dust, and antelope leap over swollen rivers. Each act a testament to resilience and adaptation. The stories that unfold here are both epic and intimate, predators stalking their prey with silent precision, parents nurturing the next generation with unwavering devotion. Every life is shaped by the challenges and opportunities of its environment. We witness the instinct-driven determination of millions, herds on migration, flocks in flight, and the great seasonal movements that define the rhythm of the wild. The silent, deadly dance between predator and prey is played out in every corner of the wild, a constant test of skill, speed, and instinct. Complex social structures emerge, elephants communicating across miles, dolphins weaving through the surf in coordinated pods, birds building intricate colonies in the reeds. These bonds are the foundation of survival, allowing species to thrive against all odds. Each ecosystem offers a window into the intricate web of life, where every creature, from the mightiest lion to the smallest fish, plays a vital role in the balance of nature. The wild heart of our planet is revealed in moments of breathtaking beauty. A sunrise over untouched land, the first steps of a newborn, the silent glow of fireflies in the night. These scenes are a powerful reminder of the raw, untamed wonder that endures in the natural world. Change is a constant companion in the wild. Landscapes are shaped and reshaped by fire, flood, and the slow march of seasons. Life adapts, endures, and flourishes in the face of every challenge. Yet even in the most remote corners, the wild is not immune to disruption. Invasive species, shifting climates, and the scars of natural upheaval test the resilience of every ecosystem. But the story of the wild heart is not one of despair. It is a testament to the enduring power of nature, to the cycles of renewal and rebirth that follow even the harshest trials. With every season, life returns, wolf pups emerge from their dens, birds reclaim their nesting grounds, and the chorus of frogs signals the renewal of the wetlands. In every heartbeat, every breath, the wild heart of our planet endures, resilient, vibrant, and alive. By bearing witness to these wonders, we deepen our understanding of the natural world and the intricate connections that sustain it, ensuring that the wild heart continues to beat strong and free for all time. In the heart of East Africa, a vast tapestry of life unfolds across the endless plains of the Serengeti. Here the land stretches beyond the horizon, a living mosaic of grasslands, woodlands, and winding rivers, each supporting a web of interdependent species. The Serengeti's ecosystem is a marvel of natural engineering, rolling grasslands punctuated by scattered acacia trees and dense riverine forests cover more than 12,000 square miles. These habitats are shaped by ancient volcanic soils which, when nourished by seasonal rains, burst into a vibrant green, sustaining a multitude of plant and animal life. The rhythm of the Serengeti is dictated by the rains. From March to May, the long rainy season transforms the southern plains into a lush paradise. Grasses grow tall and thick, wildflowers bloom in dazzling colors, and the air is alive with the hum of insects and the calls of birds. This abundance draws immense herds of herbivores, wildebeest, zebra, gazelle, who graze on the nutrient-rich pastures, their movements shaping the very landscape. As the rains fade and the dry season takes hold from June to September, the land is transformed. Grasses wither to gold, dust swirls in the wind, and water becomes a precious resource. Yet, even in this harshness, life persists. Deep-rooted acacias and resilient shrubs provide shade and sustenance, while animals adapt their behaviors to survive the relentless sun. The Serengeti is a realm of extraordinary diversity. Towering above the plains, the African elephant, nature's great architect, roams in family groups. With trunks capable of astonishing dexterity, elephants strip bark from trees, dig for water, and shape the landscape, creating clearings that benefit countless other species. Nearby, herds of Maasai giraffes glide across the savannah, their long necks reaching for the tender leaves of acacia trees. Their unique physiology, including powerful hearts and specialized valves, allows them to browse at heights no other mammal can reach, reducing competition and ensuring the survival of both giraffe and tree. The plains are alive with movement. Zebras, with their striking black and white stripes, form tight-knit groups. Their patterns create a dazzling visual effect, confusing predators and deterring biting flies. Thompson's gazelles, ever alert, leap high in the air, a behavior known as stotting, to signal their fitness and deter would-be hunters. Among the grasses, the serval cat stalks silently. With long legs and keen hearing, it can leap over 6 feet to snatch birds from the air, a testament to the precision and adaptability of Serengeti predators. The Serengeti is also a kingdom of formidable hunters. Lions, the only truly social big cats, form powerful prides that dominate the open plains. Their cooperative hunting strategies allow them to bring down prey much larger than themselves, while their presence shapes the behavior of every animal in their domain. Cheetahs, built for speed, rely on explosive acceleration and keen eyesight to chase down fleet-footed gazelles. Their flexible spines and long tails provide balance and agility, making them the fastest land animals on Earth. In the shadows, leopards move with stealth and grace. Solitary and elusive, They often drag their kills high into the branches of trees, safe from scavengers and rival predators. Their adaptability allows them to thrive in both open grasslands and dense woodlands. Along the rivers, the ancient Nile crocodile waits in silence. With eyes and nostrils just above the water's surface, it is a master of patience, striking with lightning speed when prey comes to drink. Its powerful jaws and armored body have changed little in millions of years, a living relic of prehistoric times. The plant life of the Serengeti is as varied as its animals. Grasses dominate the open plains, their deep roots anchoring the soil and surviving fire and drought. Acacia and baobab trees provide food and shelter, their flowers and fruit supporting birds, insects, and mammals alike. In wetter areas, dense thickets and riverine forests offer refuge for countless species, from tiny amphibians to secretive antelope. Interactions between species are constant and complex. Grazers shape the vegetation, which in turn influences the distribution of predators. Birds follow herds, feeding on insects stirred up by hooves. Dung beetles recycle nutrients, while vultures and hyenas clean the plains of carrion, ensuring the cycle of life continues unbroken. Every day, the Serengeti is a stage for drama and survival. From the smallest insect to the largest elephant, each creature plays a vital role in this intricate web. The endless plains are not just a backdrop, but a living, breathing entity, an ever-changing testament to the resilience and ingenuity of life. As the sun sets over the golden grasslands, the Serengeti's inhabitants prepare for another night. Some will hunt, others will hide, but all are bound together by the eternal rhythms of this remarkable land, a place where diversity flourishes, and every day is a testament to the power of nature. Across the boundless Serengeti, the pulse of life beats strongest during the Great Migration, a spectacle unmatched in scale and drama. Here, the land itself seems to move, as millions of hooves churn the earth, and clouds of dust rise beneath the relentless African sun. This is not merely a journey, but a living river of animals, wildebeest, zebras and gazelles flowing in a vast clockwise circuit that spans hundreds of miles. Their movement is dictated by the ancient rhythm of the rains, the promise of fresh grass, and the ever-present shadow of danger. The odyssey begins in the southern plains, where the rains transform the landscape into a lush nursery. Here, in a brief window of abundance, nearly 500,000 wildebeest calves are born. The air is thick with anticipation and the cries of new life as mothers nuzzle their fragile young and urge them to stand. For a newborn, survival is a race against time. Within minutes, trembling legs must find strength, and within an hour the calf must run, joining the herd or falling prey to the ever-watchful predators that stalk the grasslands. Lions, hyenas and cheetahs prowl the calving grounds, their senses attuned to the weak and the unwary. Each day is a test of endurance and instinct, as mothers shield their calves, and the herd's collective vigilance is put to the ultimate test. The abundance of prey draws predators in great numbers, creating a delicate balance between feast and famine, life and death. The grasslands echo with the drama of pursuit and escape, a relentless contest that shapes every generation. As the rains fade and the southern plains dry, the herds are compelled to move. Driven by hunger and thirst, they surge northward, their columns stretching for miles across the parched earth. The journey is fraught with obstacles, but none more formidable than the Mara River. At the river's edge, tension mounts. The animals hesitate, sensing the danger that lurks beneath the surface. Suddenly one leaps, and the herd follows in a frenzied rush, hooves pounding, water churning, the air filled with the chaos of survival. Beneath the muddy waters, Nile crocodiles, ancient, patient, and deadly, await their moment. With explosive power, they seize the unwary, dragging them into the depths. The river crossing is a crucible, claiming the lives of many, but forging survivors from the rest. Those who emerge on the far bank are battered and exhausted, but the ordeal is not over. Predators lie in wait, ready to exploit any weakness. The survivors must regroup, ever alert, and press onward in search of sustenance. Throughout this epic trek, wildebeest and zebras form a remarkable alliance. Wildebeest, with their acute sense of smell, lead the search for water, while zebras, ever vigilant, scan the horizon for threats. Together, they create a living shield, their combined senses and numbers offering a measure of safety. The landscape itself is a constant challenge. Drought shrivels the grass, dust storms sweep the plains, and rivers dwindle to muddy trickles. Yet the herds press on, driven by the memory of green pastures and the promise of rain. Along the way, the migration shapes the land. Hooves churn the soil, dispersing seeds and fertilizing the earth. The passage of millions of animals rejuvenates the plains, ensuring that life will return with the next season's rains. For the predators, the migration is both opportunity and trial. Lions and hyenas follow the herds, their fortunes rising and falling with the ebb and flow of prey. Cheetahs race across the open ground, targeting the young and the weak, while vultures circle above, ever watchful for the fallen. Each day brings new challenges: raging rivers, parched earth, sudden storms, and the constant threat of attack. Yet the herds endure, their journey a testament to the resilience and unity of life on the Serengeti. As the cycle completes, the rains return to the southern plains. The herds, weary but undaunted, turn south once more, retracing their steps across the vast wilderness. New grass springs from the earth, and the great migration begins anew, a never-ending odyssey of survival, adaptation, and hope. The Great Migration is the beating heart of the Serengeti, a living tapestry woven from dust, blood, and the unbreakable will to survive. In this wild, untamed land, every step is a story, every life a thread in the epic journey that defines the soul of Africa. In the boundless expanse of the Serengeti, the lion, Panthera leo, reigns as the undisputed monarch of the Savannah. This vast ecosystem, stretching as far as the eye can see, is shaped by the presence and power of these formidable predators. Lions are unique among the great cats for their social nature, forming complex family groups known as prides. These prides can be as small as a handful of individuals or swell to more than 40, each member bound by intricate social ties. Within the pride, every lion has a role. Lionesses, related by blood, form the core of the group, while males, often brothers, hold their position through strength and alliance. The lionesses are the pride's strategists and hunters. Agile, patient, and highly coordinated, they move as one through the tall grass, using stealth and teamwork to approach their quarry. Their hunting tactics are a marvel of cooperation. Some lionesses drive prey toward hidden ambushes, while others block escape routes. Despite their skill, the open plains and wary prey mean that most hunts end in failure, with only about 1 in 3 attempts resulting in a kill. The pride's males, with their imposing manes and muscular frames, serve as guardians. Their deep, resonant roars can be heard up to 5 miles away, a powerful warning to rivals and a declaration of territory. Yet the lion's supremacy is never uncontested. The spotted hyena, another apex predator, is a constant presence on the Serengeti stage, challenging the lion's dominance at every turn. Hyenas are not simply scavengers. They are intelligent social hunters, living in large female-led clans that can number up to 80 individuals. Their social structure rivals that of the lions in complexity. Hyenas employ endurance and teamwork, running down prey over long distances and using their numbers to outmaneuver even the most vigilant animals. The rivalry between lions and hyenas is fierce and unrelenting. Their encounters are often violent, with both species vying for the same resources: food, territory, and survival. These ancient adversaries are locked in a perpetual contest. Every meal, every territory boundary is a potential flashpoint for conflict. A fresh kill by lions rarely goes unnoticed. The scent draws hyenas from miles around, and soon the pride must defend its hard-won meal from a determined and growing mob. The outcome of these confrontations hinges on numbers and resolve. A single lion can hold off several hyenas, but a large, coordinated clan can overwhelm even the bravest defenders. When hyenas gather in force, even the lion's strength may not be enough. The balance of power shifts constantly, dictated by the ever-changing dynamics of the savannah. In this rivalry, numbers are everything. The strength of the pride or the clan can tip the scales in an instant. These battles are not merely about food. They are contests of dominance, shaping the destinies of both lions and hyenas. As night falls, the Serengeti comes alive with the sounds of this rivalry. The deep roars of lions and the eerie whoops of hyenas create a haunting symphony, a reminder of the ongoing struggle for supremacy. The competition extends to the next generation. Both lions and hyenas will kill the young of their rivals, a ruthless tactic to secure the future of their own kind. This relentless rivalry shapes the very fabric of the Serengeti. The movements of lions and hyenas influence the distribution of prey and the patterns of life across the plains. The presence of one predator alters the behavior of the other. Each is acutely aware of the other's movements, and their strategies evolve in response to this constant surveillance. In regions like the Ngorongoro crater, where lions are abundant, hyenas may rely more on scavenging. Elsewhere, hyenas may dominate, becoming the primary hunters and forcing lions to adapt. Both species are built for power. The lion's bite force can reach 650 psi, while the hyena's jaws are among the strongest in the animal kingdom, able to crush bone and access the rich marrow within. The eternal contest between lion and hyena is a defining drama of the Serengeti. It is a story of strategy, strength, and survival, an unending battle that shapes the destiny of the plains and all who dwell within them. The Mediterranean Sea, a shimmering expanse nestled between three continents, is a living archive of ancient life. Its waters and shores are testament to the evolutionary wonders that have unfolded over millions of years. Here the story of life is written in layers, from the sunlit shallows where seagrass meadows sway, to the abyssal canyons where primordial creatures drift in perpetual twilight. The seagrass meadows, among the oldest living organisms on Earth, form vast underwater prairies. These ancient plants, some clones thousands of years old, anchor the ecosystem, providing shelter and sustenance for countless species. Juvenile fish, camouflaged among the blades, learn the art of survival, while cuttlefish, masters of disguise, shift their colors and textures in a silent ballet of adaptation. In the open water, the Atlantic bluefin tuna reigns as a marvel of evolutionary engineering. Warm-blooded and streamlined, these ancient fish can accelerate with explosive power, their migrations echoing patterns set in motion eons ago. Each year they traverse thousands of miles, guided by instinct and the subtle cues of ocean currents, returning to ancestral spawning grounds as their forebears did in ages past. In the depths, the sperm whale, descendant of a lineage stretching back to the age of leviathans, dives to crushing depths, its massive form vanishing into the abyss. Using a symphony of echolocation clicks, it navigates the darkness, seeking out giant squid and other elusive prey that have haunted these waters since prehistory. The loggerhead sea turtle, a living fossil, glides through the blue, guided by the Earth's magnetic field, a navigational sense honed over millions of years. Females return to the very beaches where their ancestors once emerged, laying eggs in the sand and continuing a cycle as old as the sea itself. Hatchlings, no larger than a human hand, race toward the surf, their journey fraught with peril. Those that survive grow into powerful adults, their jaws perfectly adapted to crush the armored shells of crabs and mollusks. Along the rocky shores, the Mediterranean monk seal, one of the world's oldest seal species, finds refuge in hidden coves and sea caves, its lineage tracing back to the dawn of marine mammals. These elusive creatures, once abundant, now cling to survival, their presence a living memory of a wilder, more ancient Mediterranean. Their behaviors, solitary hunting, nurturing of pups in secluded caves, are echoes of a time when the sea teemed with giants and predators. In the labyrinth of underwater canyons, ancient sharks, some species virtually unchanged since the time of the dinosaurs, glide silently, their senses attuned to the faintest vibrations of prey. The Mediterranean's reefs and rocky outcrops shelter a dazzling array of invertebrates, octopuses that solve puzzles and mimic their surroundings, spiny lobsters that communicate with subtle clicks, and sea urchins that graze on algae, shaping the very landscape of the sea floor. Even the smallest creatures play ancient roles, tiny plankton drifting in sunlit currents, forming the base of a food web that has supported life here for millions of years. The Mediterranean is not merely a sea but a living museum, its every current, every hidden cave, every shimmering shoal, a chapter in the epic of life's evolution. Within its depths the legacy of ancient life endures, a cradle of resilience and adaptation, where the wonders of the past continue to shape the future of this extraordinary ecosystem. Beneath the shimmering surface of the Mediterranean, a world of vibrant color and constant motion unfolds. Here, every crevice and coral outcrop is alive with the drama of predator and prey, a delicate balance that has evolved over countless generations. Yet hidden within this beauty, silent threats lurk, some ancient, some newly arrived, each shaping the fate of the creatures that call these waters home. The Mediterranean's native predators, like the elusive moray eel and the cunning octopus, have long ruled the shadows. Their hunting strategies are as varied as their forms: ambush, camouflage, and lightning-fast strikes, each finely tuned to the rhythms of their environment. Prey species, in turn, have developed their own defenses. Sardines move in shimmering schools, confusing would-be attackers, while crustaceans rely on speed and the safety of burrows to survive the nightly hunt. But in recent decades, new predators have arrived, alien invaders with no place in the ancient order. The lionfish, with its venomous spines and insatiable appetite, glides through the reefs like a phantom. Native prey, unaccustomed to its hunting style, fall victim in alarming numbers. The lionfish's presence is felt in the silence it leaves behind. Reefs once bustling with life now eerily empty, the intricate web of predator and prey unraveling with each passing season. Another hidden menace, the silver-cheeked toadfish, prowls the depths. Armed with a potent neurotoxin, it is both predator and peril, consuming native fish while posing a deadly risk to any creature that dares to attack or consume it. The toadfish's expansion has forced native species to abandon traditional hunting grounds, further destabilizing the ecosystem and allowing the invader to flourish unchecked. Not all threats are new. Swarms of jellyfish, once kept in balance by natural predators, now thrive in the absence of competition. Their stinging tentacles claim countless juvenile fish, further reducing the resilience of the reef. Even the Mediterranean's apex predators, like the barracuda, find themselves challenged by these newcomers. The balance of power shifts as native hunters avoid the venomous and toxic invaders, leaving them free to multiply. Rising sea temperatures accelerate these changes, inviting more tropical predators and prey into the Mediterranean. The ancient boundaries that once defined this sea are dissolving, replaced by a new and unpredictable order. In this evolving underwater world, survival depends on adaptation. Some native predators, like the scorpionfish, refine their camouflage and hunting tactics, hoping to outwit both old rivals and new threats. Every day the struggle continues. Predators hunt, prey evade, and the silent threats beneath the waves shape the destiny of the Mediterranean's living tapestry. The future of these underwater realms remains uncertain. The hidden dangers, both ancient and new, remind us that beneath the waves the fight for survival is relentless and the balance of life is always at risk of tipping into silence. At the southern edge of the North American continent, a remarkable river flows not with speed, but with patience, a broad, shallow current that weaves through a living tapestry of grass and water. This is the Everglades, a river ecosystem unlike any other, where life is shaped by the rhythm of water and the intricate dance between plants and animals. The Everglades is a vast, slow-moving river stretching 50 miles wide and 100 miles long. Its waters glide over a bed of limestone, nourishing a mosaic of habitats that support an extraordinary diversity of life. Sawgrass dominates the landscape, its slender blades rising above the water in endless waves. This plant is the namesake of the River of Grass, providing shelter and food for countless creatures. Among the sawgrass, cypress domes and hardwood hammocks emerge as verdant islands, their roots anchoring the soil and offering refuge to terrestrial species. The seasonal pulse of water is the lifeblood of this ecosystem. During the wet season, rains swell the river, flooding the marshes and replenishing the land. In the dry season, water recedes, concentrating life around shrinking pools and gator holes. This ebb and flow sustains a delicate balance, allowing plants and animals to thrive in harmony. Birds are among the most visible inhabitants of the Everglades. Great blue herons, snowy egrets, and roseate spoonbills wade through the shallows, their long legs and sharp beaks perfectly adapted for stalking fish, frogs, and crustaceans. Each species carves out its own niche, reducing competition and ensuring the survival of many. The anhinga, often called the snake bird, glides through the water with only its sinuous neck exposed. It hunts by spearing fish with its pointed bill, then tossing its prey into the air and swallowing it whole. This unique hunting style allows the anhinga to exploit food sources that other birds cannot reach. Beneath the surface, fish dart among submerged grasses, feeding on algae and detritus. These fish in turn attract larger predators, creating a complex web of interactions that links every inhabitant of the river. The American alligator reigns as the keystone species of the Everglades. This powerful reptile shapes the environment in profound ways. During the dry season, alligators excavate gator holes, depressions that retain water when the marsh dries out. These oases become vital refuges for fish, turtles, and birds, sustaining life through the harshest months. Turtles bask on floating logs, sharing space with sunning alligators. Fish gather in the cool depths of gator holes, while wading birds hunt along the edges. Even as predator and prey, these animals are bound together by the need for water, each playing a role in the survival of the whole. Plant life in the Everglades is as diverse as its animal inhabitants. Aquatic plants like bladderwort and spatterdock provide food and shelter for insects, amphibians, and small fish. Tree islands support ferns, orchids, and bromeliads, their roots creating microhabitats for countless invertebrates. The interplay between water, plants, and animals is the foundation of the Everglades. Every drop of water carries nutrients, every blade of grass offers shelter, and every animal interaction shapes the destiny of the ecosystem. Yet the balance is fragile. Changes in water flow, the introduction of invasive species, and the encroachment of salt water threaten the intricate relationships that define this river of grass. Still, the Everglades endures, a testament to the resilience of nature and the power of water to sustain life. As the sun sets over the endless horizon, the Everglades reveals its true majesty, a living river where grass and water, predator and prey, plant and animal are forever entwined in the dance of survival. Across the vast tapestry of our planet, three worlds, land, water, and air, intertwine in a delicate balance. The Serengeti, the Mediterranean, and the Everglades, though separated by continents and climate, are united by the relentless challenges that test the very fabric of animal survival. Environmental dangers manifest in every element. On land, rising temperatures and erratic rainfall patterns force animals to adapt or perish. In the Serengeti, herds of wildebeest and zebra must now travel farther and riskier routes in search of shrinking waterholes, while predators like lions and cheetahs sharpen their hunting strategies, exploiting moments of weakness in the heat-stressed herds. The land itself becomes a crucible. As droughts intensify, the grasslands that once nourished millions begin to wither, and the ancient migration cycles are thrown into disarray. Survival strategies evolve. Elephants dig for hidden water, birds alter their nesting times, and scavengers expand their territories, seeking any sign of life. Interspecies dynamics shift as competition for resources intensifies. Predators and prey engage in a high-stakes dance, each adapting to the new rhythms of scarcity and opportunity. The threat of desertification looms, transforming once fertile plains into inhospitable wastelands. Only the most resilient species endure, their survival strategies honed by generations of adaptation. In the realm of water, the Mediterranean is a world in flux. As the sea warms, native fish and invertebrates face new physiological stresses, while opportunistic invaders from distant oceans exploit the changing conditions. The arrival of tropical species, such as the lionfish, disrupts established food webs. Native predators must learn to recognize and hunt these newcomers, while prey species develop new avoidance tactics. The struggle for dominance beneath the waves is constant and unforgiving. Extreme weather and warming waters trigger coral bleaching and habitat loss, forcing marine life to seek refuge in deeper, cooler zones. Some species migrate, others perish, and a few adapt, altering their breeding cycles or shifting their ranges. In the Everglades, the boundary between land and water blurs as rising seas push saltwater ever deeper into freshwater marshes. Here, animal survival hinges on adaptability. Amphibians seek higher ground, fish navigate shifting salinity, and birds alter their migratory stopovers. As the sawgrass prairies wither, specialist species like the snail kite must adapt their hunting grounds, while generalists exploit new niches. The web of life stretches, each strand tested by the encroaching tide. Interspecies relationships grow more complex. Predators and prey, competitors and collaborators, all must navigate a landscape in flux, where yesterday's certainties are today's risks. Invasive species add another layer of challenge. The Burmese python, for example, preys on native mammals and birds, forcing survivors to alter their behaviors and territories. The struggle for survival becomes a contest of innovation and resilience. The air itself is a battleground. Migratory birds must navigate shifting wind patterns and unpredictable storms, timing their journeys to coincide with fleeting windows of abundance. Insects, too, adjust their life cycles, emerging earlier or later in response to temperature and rainfall. In the skies above all three worlds, survival depends on agility, timing, and the ability to read the ever-changing signals of the environment. Some species thrive, others falter, but all are shaped by the invisible currents of air and weather. Across land, water, and air, the animal kingdom responds to adversity with ingenuity and tenacity. Each species, from the smallest insect to the apex predator, is locked in a daily contest for survival, adapting to threats both ancient and new. These three worlds, vibrant and ever-changing, remind us that the story of life is one of constant adaptation. The intricate dance of survival, played out across continents and climates, is a testament to the resilience and interconnectedness of all living things. Amidst the vast challenges that threaten the world's wild places, the animal kingdom continues to demonstrate remarkable hope and resilience. The story of survival is not one of surrender, but of adaptation, ingenuity, and the relentless will to endure. Across the Serengeti, lions, once pushed to the brink, have adapted their hunting strategies, teaching their young to navigate shifting prey patterns and unpredictable seasons. Cubs learn from their elders, honing skills essential for survival in a landscape shaped by drought and abundance alike. Wildebeest herds, too, display extraordinary resilience. Each year, they undertake perilous migrations, braving swollen rivers and lurking predators. Calves, born into a world of uncertainty, quickly learn to keep pace, their survival dependent on both instinct and the protection of the herd. The black rhino, once a symbol of near extinction, now stands as a testament to nature's ability to rebound. Calves, once rare, now follow their mothers through dense brush, learning to find water, avoid danger, and use mud wallows to shield themselves from the harsh sun and biting insects. Elephants, the architects of the savannah, have adapted to changing climates by digging for hidden water and altering their migratory routes. Youngsters play and learn under the watchful eyes of their elders, absorbing the knowledge that will one day guide their own families. In the Mediterranean, marine life is staging its own quiet comeback. Dolphins, once scarce, now leap through clearer waters, while seabirds return to ancient nesting grounds, adapting to new food sources and shifting ocean currents. Beneath the waves, octopuses display astonishing intelligence, camouflaging against predators and solving complex puzzles to find food. Sea turtles, after decades at sea, return to the very beaches where they were born, guided by instincts honed over millennia. The Mediterranean monk seal, once a ghostly presence, now raises its pups in secluded coves. These elusive mammals have adapted to human disturbance by seeking out quieter refuges, their numbers slowly climbing as they reclaim their ancestral homes. In the Florida Everglades, ancient rhythms persist. Alligators carve out new channels, creating habitats for fish and birds. Wading birds, once in decline, return to restored wetlands, their synchronized nesting a sign of renewed abundance. River otters, playful and resourceful, thrive in the rehydrated marshes, while turtles bask on sunlit logs and fish weave through the grasses, each species adapting to the shifting mosaic of water and land. Across continents, animals display breathtaking feats of adaptation. Starlings form swirling murmurations to evade predators, bats adjust their emergence to changing insect populations, and butterflies navigate vast distances, guided by invisible cues in the wind and sun. From the icy peaks to the arid deserts, survival demands constant innovation. Snow leopards master the art of stealth on treacherous cliffs, Arctic foxes change their coats with the seasons, and desert lizards burrow deep to escape the relentless sun. In forests and rivers, wolves coordinate complex hunts, beavers engineer wetlands that support countless other species, and salmon undertake epic journeys upstream, overcoming every obstacle in their path. Each new generation is born into a world of uncertainty, yet filled with potential. The eyes of a lion cub, the tentative steps of an elephant calf, the first swim of a sea turtle hatchling, all are acts of hope, testaments to the enduring spirit of life. The fate of these wild places and their inhabitants is shaped by their own resilience and the intricate web of life that binds them together. Their stories are a living testament to the power of adaptation and the ongoing struggle for survival. Every day, animals make choices, seeking food, shelter, and safety. Each decision a thread in the tapestry of life that sustains the wild. Their continued existence is a reminder that hope is not passive, but active, a daily act of persistence, adaptation, and courage. For in the end, the animal kingdom's greatest strength lies in its ability to adapt, to learn, and to find new ways to thrive, even in the face of adversity. There is still time for these wild places and their remarkable inhabitants, not just to survive, but to flourish, carrying the story of hope and action forward for generations to come. As the sun sinks below the horizon, a new world awakens on the savannah, one veiled in moonlight and alive with secrets. The blistering heat of the day gives way to a cool, silvery calm. But this is no time for rest. For many, the darkness is an invitation to emerge, to hunt, to hide, and to survive. Shadows ripple across the grass as a pride of lions stirs, their golden eyes reflecting the faintest glimmer of starlight. Silent and purposeful, they move through the tall grass, communicating with low grumbles and flicks of their tails. Each step is calculated, every sense heightened, as they stalk the unsuspecting herds that graze under the cover of darkness. Nearby, a pair of spotted hyenas patrols their territory, their eerie calls echoing across the plains. These skilled scavengers rely on keen hearing and a powerful sense of smell to find their next meal, often outlasting their competitors in the silent contest for survival. Above, the night air shivers with the chirps of crickets and the haunting whoops of owls. A barn owl swoops low, feathers whisper quiet, its sharp vision piercing the gloom in search of rodents scurrying through the undergrowth. Each catch is a triumph of patience and precision, a silent drama played out beneath the stars. In the thickets, a serval cat slinks through the shadows, its oversized ears swiveling to catch the faintest rustle of prey. With a sudden leap, it pounces, the night concealing both hunter and hunted in a dance as old as the savannah itself. Elsewhere, a herd of elephants gathers in the moonlight, their trunks raised to the gentle breeze, testing the air for distant threats. Calves huddle close to their mothers, comforted by the low rumbles that travel through the ground, a secret language that binds the herd together in the darkness. Tiny bush babies leap from branch to branch, their wide eyes glowing as they forage for insects and fruit. Their soft calls mingle with the distant croak of frogs and the rustle of leaves, creating a nocturnal symphony that fills the air. For every creature, the night brings both risk and reward. Zebras form tight groups, ears twitching at every sound, ever alert to the stealthy approach of predators. Giraffes, usually serene, stand vigil atop the plains, keeping watch with their lofty perspective. In these hours, the savannah reveals its most intricate mysteries. Every sound, every movement is a strategy, an answer to the endless challenge of survival. Here, in the cool embrace of night, the wild heart of the savannah beats on, thriving in the delicate balance between shadow and light. High above the forest floor lies a world few eyes ever witness, a secret kingdom suspended in the arms of ancient trees. Here the canopy weaves a living tapestry of branches and leaves, dappled in shifting sunlight and shadow. This aerial realm, perched far from the dangers below, is teeming with life, each layer a sanctuary, each limb a bustling avenue. At dawn, a troop of colobus monkeys navigates the lattice of branches with effortless grace. Their soft calls echo through the foliage as they leap from tree to tree, feasting on tender shoots and leaves. Agile and alert, they rely on teamwork and trust, weaving their stories into the very fabric of the canopy. Nearby, a pair of chameleons inch along a mossy branch, their skin pulsing with subtle color changes that mirror the mottled greens and golds around them. They pause, tongues flicking out with lightning speed to snare unsuspecting insects, a silent ballet performed in miniature. Among the vines, a family of flying squirrels prepares for their nightly glide. With a sudden leap, they soar between trunks, their outstretched membranes catching the cool breeze. Each flight is a daring escape from predators and a lifeline to distant food sources, connecting treetop to treetop in a web of movement. Tiny tree frogs cling to broad leaves, their jewel-toned bodies nearly invisible against the backdrop of moss and lichen. Their melodic chirps rise and fall, a chorus that signals both territory and invitation. In the crevices of bark, colonies of ants march in disciplined trails, tending to gardens of fungus and farming aphids, engineers of this miniature metropolis. Above, a pair of hornbills weaves through the canopy, their enormous bills clacking as they search for ripe fruit. Each meal sows new seeds across the forest, ensuring the endless renewal of this elevated ecosystem. All around, the branches are alive with hidden dramas, courtship dances of butterflies, the stealthy prowl of a clouded leopard, the patient weaving of a spider's silken trap. Every creature, from the smallest beetle to the most elusive primate, plays a vital role in the balance above. In this world between earth and sky, the forest canopy shelters its own wonders, fragile, intricate, and endlessly surprising. Here, life thrives in the embrace of the trees, a testament to the power and beauty of nature's hidden heights. As the seasons shift, the pulse of the wilderness quickens and slows, transforming the landscape and rewriting the fates of its inhabitants. With the arrival of the dry season, the once verdant grasslands fade to gold beneath an unrelenting sun. Waterholes shrink to muddy remnants, drawing crowds of thirsty animals, zebras, wildebeest, and elephants, who embark on arduous migrations in search of distant rivers. Each step is a gamble, every journey a test of endurance. In the forests, change is equally profound. Leaves wither and fall, carpeting the ground in a mosaic of brittle brown. The canopy's shade thins, exposing the creatures above to the harsh glare of daylight. Some, like the tree frogs, retreat into damp hollows, slowing their hearts and waiting for the rains. Others, such as the hornbills, widen their search for fruit, their calls echoing through the quieter woods. On the plains, predators adapt their tactics. Lions and cheetahs move under cover of darkness, conserving energy for swift, decisive hunts. Packs of wild dogs adjust their territories, tracking the shifting herds across the parched earth. In the rivers, crocodiles lie in wait, patient and still, as fish and antelope are forced to the water's edge. Then, with a distant rumble, the season turns. The first storm clouds gather, painting the sky in bruised purples and greys. Rain falls in sudden, drenching torrents, transforming dust to mud and barren fields to emerald. Seeds burst awake, insects swarm, and the air is filled with the chorus of renewal. For some, this is a time of abundance. Antelope calves take their first trembling steps amid the sheltering grasses. Birds return from far-off journeys, weaving new nests and filling the dawn with song. But for others, survival demands a different kind of resilience. Burrowing creatures brace against floods, while leopards climb higher to escape the rising waters. Through drought and deluge, blistering heat and chilling storms, life endures. Every animal, from the smallest insect to the mightiest elephant, is shaped by the rhythm of the seasons, a cycle of challenge, adaptation, and hope that binds them all to the ever-changing heart of the wild. Beneath the surface of every landscape, an invisible tapestry connects all living things, a web of life, woven from countless threads of dependence and survival. Here, every creature plays its part in an intricate dance, where fortune can turn in a heartbeat. On the open plains, a lone gazelle grazes, ever watchful. In the tall grass, a cheetah crouches, muscles coiled with anticipation. The chase is swift and silent, a burst of energy, a test of speed and instinct. Yet, even as the predator claims its prize, the cycle continues. Vultures circle above, their sharp eyes drawn by the promise of a meal. Hyenas gather on the wind, their laughter echoing across the savannah. What begins as a single hunt soon becomes a feast for many, each scavenger ensuring that nothing is wasted, that every scrap is returned to the earth. In the rivers, crocodiles lurk beneath the surface, patient and unseen. Fish dart through the reeds, feeding on insects and tiny crustaceans, while birds swoop down to snatch the unwary. Even the smallest creatures, like dung beetles and termites, play a vital role, breaking down waste, enriching the soil, and supporting the growth of new life. Predator and prey, scavenger and decomposer, each is bound to the others in a delicate balance. Remove one, and the entire system can falter. The antelope shapes the grasslands by grazing, the lion keeps the herds healthy by thinning the weak, and the beetle transforms decay into nourishment. Every action ripples outward, touching lives unseen, sustaining the fragile harmony of the wild. This is nature's greatest masterpiece, a web of life, ever-changing, ever-resilient. In this world, survival is not just about strength or speed, but about connection. Here, every heartbeat counts, every life matters, and together they create the enduring balance of the wild. Beneath the towering elephants and prowling predators, a hidden world thrives, one of tiny titans and tireless workers. Here, in the undergrowth and beneath the bark, insects and small creatures orchestrate the daily miracles that sustain entire ecosystems. Ants march in endless columns, weaving intricate tunnels beneath the soil. Their teamwork aerates the earth, allowing roots to breathe and water to flow, quietly shaping the landscape from below. Termites, nature's engineers, erect towering mounds that become microhabitats for countless other species, their constant toil recycling wood and plant matter back into the land. Beetles of every color and shape patrol the forest floor, breaking down fallen leaves, dead wood, and even animal remains, transforming decay into rich, fertile soil. Above, butterflies and bees flutter from flower to flower, pollinating plants and fueling the cycle of growth with every delicate touch. Spiders spin silken webs, masterpieces of engineering to capture prey and keep insect populations in check. Praying mantises blend seamlessly with the foliage, their patience rewarded in sudden bursts of precision and speed. Even the smallest, like springtails and mites, play their part, feeding on fungi, breaking down detritus, and keeping the balance in motion. Each creature, no matter how small, is a link in a living chain, an unsung architect of resilience and renewal. Through ingenious camouflage, mimicry, and cooperation, these miniature marvels survive in a world of giants. They are the silent caretakers, the foundation upon which every ecosystem stands. Without their hidden labors, the wild would crumble, and the symphony of life would fall silent. In the secret kingdom of the small, greatness is measured not by size, but by impact. Here, every flutter, every scuttle, every hum and buzz is a vital note in nature's enduring song. In the heart of the wild, where the sun scorches the earth and shade is scarce, waterholes and oases emerge as lifelines, precious sanctuaries that beckon all who roam the land. These shimmering pools are more than mere puddles. They are the vital arteries that sustain the pulse of entire ecosystems. Every dawn, as the first light glimmers across the horizon, the water's edge becomes a stage for nature's daily drama. Herds of zebra and wildebeest approach cautiously, their hooves stirring clouds of dust as they quench their thirst. Elephants, the gentle giants, stride in with purpose, their trunks drawing cool relief from the depths and showering their young in playful sprays. Birds of every color descend in flurries, their wings flashing as they dip and preen. Storks and ibises wade along the shallows, while tiny songbirds flit between reeds, their melodies mingling with the soft splash of water. Beneath the surface, fish dart in silver schools and amphibians croak in hidden chorus, each playing a part in this liquid ballet. But where life gathers, tension simmers. Predators lurk at the fringes. Lions and leopards, silent and watchful, know that prey must come to drink. Crocodiles lie in wait beneath the glassy surface, their patience measured in hours, their strike in fractions of a second. A single sip can mean survival or sudden danger. As the day blazes on, the waterhole becomes a crossroads. Giraffes splay their legs in awkward grace to reach the water, while warthogs kneel in the mud, savoring the cool embrace. Even the smallest, tortoises, frogs, and dragonflies, find sanctuary here, their lives intertwined with the fate of the pool. When the rains are scarce, the waterhole shrinks and tempers flare. Rivalries erupt as herds jostle for space, and old hierarchies are tested in the heat of competition. Yet in this crucible, moments of unexpected harmony emerge. Species that are rivals on the open plains share uneasy truces, united by the need for water. At dusk, as the sky blushes with fading light, the last arrivals approach, nocturnal wanderers drawn by the promise of relief. The waterhole, ever-changing, stands as a testament to endurance, cooperation, and the delicate balance of the wild. Here, life converges and diverges in an endless dance, each visit a story, each drop a treasure. In the gathering at the Waterhole, the wild remembers its unity, and the lifeblood of the land flows on. Across the wild, the tapestry of life is woven with countless individual journeys, each beginning with a fragile first breath. In the tall grasses, a newborn wildebeest blinks in the morning light, its legs unsteady as it rises within minutes of birth. Guided by instinct, it must quickly join the herd, for predators sense weakness and time is unforgiving. Survival depends on speed, and the calf's first run is both a rite of passage and a race against fate. In the cool shade of an acacia, a lioness tenderly cleans her cubs, their eyes sealed shut, their world defined by warmth and scent. Weeks pass before these cubs emerge, tumbling in playful skirmishes that hone their skills for the challenges ahead. The journey from helplessness to hunter is fraught with peril, threats from rival predators, hunger, and the ever-present struggle for dominance. Beneath the water's surface, tiny crocodile hatchlings break free from leathery eggs, guided by their mother's low rumbles. She gently carries them to the river's edge, where danger lurks at every turn. Only a few will survive the gauntlet of hungry fish and birds, but those that do grow into the silent rulers of the shallows. High above, a weaver bird chick pecks its way out of a delicate shell, greeted by the chatter of its colony. It must soon fledge, braving its first flight and learning to weave intricate nests, each attempt a lesson in patience and perseverance. Elephant calves born into the heart of the herd are surrounded by nurturing trunks and gentle guidance. Their milestones are marked by the wisdom of matriarchs, learning to use their trunks to find water and to navigate the ancient trails of migration. Every step is watched over by the family, but the journey to adulthood is long, shaped by drought, danger, and the bonds of kinship. From the smallest froglet emerging from the mud to the towering giraffe calf taking its first wobbly steps, each species faces a unique odyssey. Challenges abound, harsh seasons, lurking predators, and the constant quest for food and shelter. Yet for every life that endures, the wild is renewed. These life cycles, marked by triumph and loss, are the heartbeat of the wilderness. They remind us that every creature's path is a story of resilience, adaptation, and the relentless will to survive. In the great theatre of nature, the journey from birth to maturity is both an individual struggle and a shared inheritance, ensuring that the wild endures generation after generation. In the wild, life is shaped not only by daily struggles, but by the sweeping hand of nature's fiercest forces. Across vast plains and tangled forests, natural disasters strike with little warning. Droughts parch the land, floods swallow the earth, and wildfires rage with unstoppable fury. Beneath a sun-scorched sky, herds of zebra and antelope trek across cracked riverbeds, searching for the last pools of water. Dust clouds swirl with each desperate hoofbeat. Rivers that once teemed with life now lie bare, their beds littered with the bones of those who could not endure. Yet, in the face of relentless drought, survivors adapt, digging deeper for hidden springs, altering migration routes, and relying on the wisdom passed down through generations. When the heavens open, the landscape transforms in an instant. Torrential rains turn dry grasslands into vast churning lakes. Warthogs and hares scramble for higher ground, while crocodiles seize the opportunity to expand their hunting grounds. Nests are swept away, burrows flooded, and yet, as waters recede, new life flourishes in the nutrient-rich mud. Frogs chorus under the stars, and fish spawn in the temporary pools, seeding the next generation. In the shadow of ancient trees, a spark becomes an inferno. Wildfires, born of lightning or the dry breath of the wind, consume everything in their path. Flames roar through the underbrush, forcing leopards to leap from branch to branch, and elephants to guide their young toward distant rivers. When the fire passes, a blackened silence lingers, yet soon green shoots pierce the ash, and grazers return to feast on the tender regrowth. For every disaster, there is a story of renewal. Some species perish, others persevere, and a few thrive in the aftermath. Seeds that require fire to germinate burst into life, and floodwaters carve new habitats for countless creatures. The resilience of the wild is written in adaptation, nature's ancient promise that even in the face of destruction, life finds a way to begin again. Through drought, flood, and fire, the animal kingdom endures, each trial forging a deeper strength, each recovery a testament to the indomitable will of life itself. As dusk falls and the savannah is painted in shades of gold and deepening blue, a different drama unfolds, one that plays out in the silence between heartbeats. Here, in the realm of shadows, solitary predators emerge, masters of stealth and patience. A leopard, cloaked in dappled moonlight, glides through tall grasses. Every muscle tensed, every step calculated, she becomes nearly invisible. Her survival depends on secrecy, on the art of the ambush. Hours may pass in stillness, as she waits for the perfect moment, her prey oblivious until the final explosive charge. Far from the leopard's domain, a jaguar stalks the tangled banks of a river. Unlike pack hunters, he relies on raw power and a bite designed to pierce armor. He slips silently into the water, vanishing beneath the surface, only to erupt in a sudden strike, jaws closing around the armored shell of a turtle. In the boreal forest, a lynx moves ghost-like between ancient trees. Her world is one of snow and silence, where every paw print is a secret, every breath a whisper. She hunts alone, reading the faintest tracks in the powdery white, relying on patience and precision to feed herself and her hidden cubs. For these predators, solitude is not loneliness, it is survival. Each rules a vast territory, fiercely defended with scent marks and silent patrols. Their boundaries are drawn not with fences, but with invisible lines of scent and sound, known only to those who cross them. Hunting alone demands a delicate balance of energy and opportunity. Missed chances can mean days without food, while a single successful hunt ensures survival for another night. Their strategies are as varied as the landscapes they roam: silent stalkers, ambush artists, or aquatic assassins, each tailored to their unique domain. Yet, even in their isolation, these predators play a vital role. By thinning herds and culling the weak, they keep the web of life in balance. Their secret lives, etched in paw prints and fleeting glimpses, remind us that survival is not always a contest of strength, but of patience, cunning, and the quiet mastery of the hunt. As dawn breaks, the lone hunters melt once more into the wilderness, silent, unseen, and essential to the wild heart of our planet. In the untamed world, survival is often thought to be a solitary struggle or a contest of dominance. Yet, hidden beneath the daily battles for food and territory, a quieter miracle unfolds, one woven from trust, tolerance, and shared purpose. Here, in the wild's intricate tapestry, symbiotic relationships and unlikely alliances blossom, proving that cooperation can be as vital as competition. Along the African savannah, a herd of zebras grazes peacefully, their stripes blending into the tall grass. Nearby, a group of wildebeest keeps a watchful eye on the horizon. Though they are different species, they move together, each benefiting from the other's heightened senses. The zebra's keen eyesight and the wildebeest's sharp hearing form a living alarm system, doubling their chances of spotting lurking predators. When danger approaches, panic ripples through both herds, and together they surge across the plains, survival through unity. Beneath the forest canopy, a tiny oxpecker perches on the back of a rhinoceros. With delicate precision, the bird picks ticks and parasites from the giant's thick skin, feasting on what would otherwise torment its host. The rhino, in turn, tolerates the gentle pecking, knowing the oxpecker's warning cries will alert it to hidden threats. In this partnership, both thrive, each providing what the other cannot. Farther afield, in the coral reefs, a cleaner fish dances boldly into the open mouths of larger predators. Instead of becoming a meal, it plucks away parasites and dead skin, offering relief to its formidable clients. These cleaning stations become bustling hubs of cooperation, where even the fiercest hunters show restraint, recognizing the value of their tiny allies. And in the desert, a meerkat sentinel stands tall, scanning for hawks while others forage. Sometimes a ground squirrel joins the watch, sharing lookout duties, different species, united by a common goal, safety for all. These alliances are not born of friendship, but necessity. In a world shaped by constant challenge, cooperation often means the difference between life and death. Through shared vigilance, mutual benefit and silent pacts, nature's unlikely partners reveal a profound truth. Survival is not only for the strongest, but for those who can work together, across boundaries and beyond blood. In these bonds, the wild whispers a lesson, that sometimes the greatest strength lies in unity.